Heidi ho, everyone, and welcome aboard. It is it's the 25th of November here in Tasmania, Australia, from where I talk to you. And no, I'm not going to tell you what special day that is. Somebody was born on that day 64 years ago. Oh my God, fathers. In your part of the world, I'm sure it's not 25th of the 11th yet, and we will talk about that tomorrow, I guess. Welcome aboard. It's nice to have you there. I think I've been completely absent from the charts all day long, so I want to catch up. But I actually wanted to share that particular process with you, and I guess from my point of view, tell you what that's all about. Because when you're away from the charts for a day or so, it's very much a case of, oh, what have I missed? You know, what's going on in the world? What are the charts telling me? And you look at it sometimes and you go, holy mackerel, didn't realize that was happening, or that's not a position I wanted to be in, or whatever the case may be. So I just thought I'd share with you how I get to go through that process of catching up. And the very first thing that I do is go to, well, news, I suppose. And the reason for that is, I guess I've got to say, as a technical trader, it doesn't make all the world of difference to me, but it does make a difference to me. That is what's really happening in the world in terms of events, in terms of fundamentals, certainly news announcements, etc., etc. So I give I'll say a little bit more than a cursory glance to Forex Factory, of course, which is where we get our little bit of news. Well, not much that. It tells us what's coming up in the world in terms of events. And that's primarily the first place that I go. I won't share that with you because we all know what Forex Factory is. We've been there, done that many, many times before. But this is the one I go to probably more than often when I'm trying to catch up and trying to understand what's going on in the world in terms of currency pairs. This is a nice little resource, actually, free resource. And whoa, 19244. I think we'll be talking about that coming up very, very shortly when Shukri joins us. Getting up to that 20K mark, and I think we probably need to have a little conversation around what happens when we get there. Getting close. That's Bitcoin, of course, that I'm talking about. But what I see in this chart is, well, I'm actually on a monthly, but it hasn't really changed that much because we are incredibly risk on in this market at the moment, and nothing's changed. You know, the monthly chart, you go to the weekly chart, you still got your Kiwi and your Aussie and your CAD. Pound, interestingly, pound on the shoulders of what I guess the commentators are telling us is going to be a positive, well, a Brexit deal. A Brexit deal, whether it be good or bad, I guess, is probably something that we need to be positive about. Because after all, we've only waited 5 years. Oh my God, what a mess. Anyway, that's the way it is. And the interesting part for all of that there, to me, is not necessarily the fact that we're risk on, but the fact that the Japanese yen is so close to those risk on currencies and certainly doing better than the US dollar. That to me is showing a very, very strong bid for the Japanese yen. And I expect once we do go risk off, which inevitably will happen, that the yen will be the strongest of the currencies to prevail. And that's what I'm timing, of course. How do you time that? But that's what I'm seeing in that chart. It's telling me that the yen, certainly outstripping the Swissy, in the perceived to be risk off currencies or safe havens, if you like. And that's really what I'm getting out of this. Yes, we're still risk on, there's no question. That's a monthly chart, as I said, that we're looking at. The weekly chart is not a whole lot different, to be fair, except that the yen was at the bottom. And that's the key to me. The yen is gaining ground. So I think there's strength there in the yen coming. And if I look at the daily chart, what do I see? It's gone back. It's tough, isn't it? That's the kind of thing I don't want to see. I'd like to see it still where it was, maintaining its pace. But I did get the hint that the yen is on the move. And despite what's happening today so far, where you see the two Antipodean currencies, the Kiwi and the Aussie, just outperforming everything else by the street, the length of the street. CAD's a little bit lagging. Euro is going okay. Pound off a bit, and the two risk-off currencies, the safe havens, the Swissy and the yen, are lagging substantially. So that's giving me a picture of what the market sentiment is. And I go into this session now with all of that in mind. And if I can take a snapshot picture of what's going on there, I think that will kind of get me up to date with where I need to be. It's not definitive by any stretch of the imagination, but at least it does give me some knowledge of where I need to be in terms of what's going on around the world. Certainly, as I said, Bitcoin going up in $50 units at the moment by the looks of things, and now 19,307. Yeah, incredible thing. And it is, of course, Tuesday, which is Crypto Tuesday, and we will be flying to the moon very, very shortly when we talk to Shukri. Let's have a look at some charts, shall we? And what's on my mind, what has been on my mind since Sunday. Well, actually, this one's been on my mind since goodness knows when I saw that formation there, really. And we started trading this at that level, and just cannot get a firm grip on any follow through here. Yet here we are again, and we're at what I consider to be a major confluence area. So I've got to be extremely bearish this at the moment. You can see that we've got a trade line coming through here. That's probably not the right chart to look at. The 4 hour is probably better. Where we've got that, pardon me, we could even extend it up there now, I think, which kind of changes things in terms of timing. And that's the interesting point here. Extremely bearish by nature because of that double top, right? You can see this mess that we've been in for the last, goodness knows how long, 5 months, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 months, just doing absolutely zip squat. And if you've got your stop loss up here, then you're okay. But if you're trying to trade this on daily charts or even 4 hour charts or certainly 30-minute and 1 hour charts, you'll be in all sorts of hopeless mess here, because it just gives you a spike to the high, spike to the low. It's really, really tough to catch. But like I said, if you're trading on a weekly chart, maybe you're getting terribly bored, but you're not doing any damage. And that's probably the key to this. It may take a long, long time, and that is certainly the case. And what we do now is recognize this EuroCAD, mind you, and I'm looking at the daily chart now. What we need to recognize is that we're coming off the bottom of a range. Now, a range to me, of course, can be a triangle, a rectangle, a circle. I don't care what it is. As long as we're going from top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, etc., etc. Why would I think that sequence is about to change? And for that reason, I pretty much have to be bullish here, don't I? Because we've come off the bottom and we haven't yet gone to the top. In fact, we've got a beautiful higher-low formation sitting there after we've been to the bottom. The very difficult part here is that little inside channel that I've got. Let me go a little bit wider. It's actually not that evident here, is it? So I prefer the rectangle. If you go back to that daily chart, you can see that what I suppose wasn't that good of an ascending channel. In fact, I'm going to get rid of it. I must have liked it at the time, but I don't think it's pertinent anymore. Certainly this rectangle is, and you can see the monthly pivot there has been absolutely the flavor of, let's say it, the month. And we haven't gone away from that too far. We ducked underneath it, however, in the last day or so. And we that area, but look at that rectangle, and we go to the 4-hour chart, and you see that we have come false break, to my mind, of the bottom of that range, and we're now looking to go to the high side. Remember, the bigger picture is telling us we're going along here to the top of the channel. So that's where I'm at, right? Looking to trade that part. Problems? Yes, we've got problems. Weekly pivot, monthly pivot, dead ahead. So we've got to get a pullback here. And the pullback, if the pullback were to come to this area and give us a higher low based on the re-entry to the range, then I think euro becomes a buy rather than the sell that I've been looking for ever and ever and ever. Well, 5 months, 4 months before. So I'm still committed short. I think short, medium term, we trade that. So that's kind of the first thing that I wanted to show you guys today. It is nearly 1 hour before open, and last night, for the very first time, excuse me whilst I have a drink of water, for the very first time we attempted to trade the open of US session, and we chose, I'll blame everyone else, I chose to have a look at trading the S&P 500. Now, there's a bit of a story about the S&P 500, of course, at this time of year, and in fact, this time of seasonal activity. This time of year is all around about the Thanksgiving thing, if you're an American, right? And we're not trying to take advantage of that trade at all. We're actually looking to trade as we do something new, and we've been promising to do this for what, I don't know, 6 months or so since we started the US session. I don't know what happened there. You guys can still hear. Awesome. Of course you are, Shukri. Thank you, so thank you. Shukri's talking about the right, the Slingshot 2, which he's been working on, and success is now what, 18, 19? How many out of 19?
So far it's 18 in a row, but thanks to the S&P yesterday, you saw what happened, right? I followed the same formula.
Yeah.
It went up, it dropped, and then it went up again. Hello, profit this morning.
It's unbelievable, right?
It is.
Where have I been for this last 13 years? Not noticing that the second wave is better than the first one, right?
Yes, correct. Because the sling is, when it goes down like that, it slings again. It's going to pass it with vengeance. Okay, so, this it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah, you mean like that? You mean like acceleration day? Guys, what I'm actually talking about here is I decided that we're going to attempt to find a system. I won't call it a strategy, a system of trading the open of the US session. And yesterday I decided that was going to be the S&P. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but what we're doing is going to test this. We're not going to back test it. We're going to forward test it. So yesterday we decided that we'd do an OCO on the 30-minute chart. Why the 30-minute chart? Because we open at 9:30 Eastern time, right? The US market is at 9:30 Eastern, which of course is half an hour, not 1 hour. So we use 30-minute chart rather than 1 hour charts, which we do in the pound on the UK session. So we used, well, I can't remember what candle it was, just 24 hours ago. It's too long ago for me. But anyway, let me see if I can recognize the candle even. It was that one. It was that one there, right? So these were the last 3 candles prior to US Open. Was that one, that one, that one.
Jeff, you got to share your screen. Screen share.
Sorry?
You got to share your screen.
I'm not sharing my screen.
Sharing your screen, yeah. So we're all waiting for that candle.
I was.
No.
I don't know what it was.
Now you're starting. Yes, there it is.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. So the last 3 30-minute candles yesterday prior to that one and that one.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is trade the breakout of the high or the breakout of the low. Range yesterday was 1 candle. So we got into the long, and I think TP1 was where, I can't remember. It was above where it is now. So we had a risk of $20. Was it $20? I think it was. So we wanted to take profit at $10, and we got to $9.20 or something like that, and it just reversed. Of course, the Shukri method of trading this is don't trade what he's saying. That's just levels good. So wait till it retraces, then place exactly the same order, and you get this.
Right.
That's exactly what happened, of course.
And look at it go. So, whoa! Because now it's slingshots at the bottom, so it's a much stronger slingshot now.
Well, I got into it here. You didn't get into it here, did you?
No, because you know this is going down. I got in at 3574, so I went in a little bit lower there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it depends on whether the sling goes down more than I expect, and it was there was a box there yesterday, and that's it. Okay, if the assumption is this ain't coming back, but if it does come back, it's going to be so strong I can get a better price.
Absolutely, which is the slingshot principle anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
That's what we work on.
Correct.
Interesting. So it's only 18 from 18.
Yeah, it's only 18, and this will make it 19, but it's already a profitable trade. The worst I can do is break even.
Shame, eh? Bugger. Right. So we're going to do the same thing tonight, right? And we're going to use, of course, well, we've got an hour to go now. We're going to use this candle and the next 2. No, sorry, this one, and the next one. And that might be a tight little range, who knows, unless it breaks out now. And of course, this is part of Thanksgiving week, which we were supposed to buy yesterday anyway, right, Shukri?
Yeah, correct.
Where was the stop on yesterday's trade?
He gave 2 stops. One was like 22 pips. The other one was like 40 pips. So, of course, a 40 pip stop would do better than a 22 because it adjusts for all the fluctuations that you had below there.
So did the 22 survive or not? Daily chart
would not have survived. The 40 would have survived.
Right. Okay. So there you go.
Of course, I survived because I never took the first one, right?
Of course you don't. I'll call you second in Shukri. We'll call him second in Shukri. But it's working well, and I think it's great. We should take note of that very, very much so. Mate, I guess we've only got about 10 minutes left in this free session. So what's going on in your world? 19.3 or something now.
Yeah, and Ethereum is also broken 600, come back below 600. I will tell you, I'm amazed at this run. What I saw, it's going to be an incredible year next year. I saw this last year, but I saw the movements now only in like September, like in November last year. So I'm surprised that you have it now, and I'll show you afterwards what it is. In fact, guys, I have given up giving TPs now on cryptos. You guys TPs at whatever you want, and you'll see the charts afterwards, and you'll see the chart in my wallets class. It is going insane, and I just cannot imagine the level of insanity it will be next year. It's just unbelievable.
What, without a dump?
See, the thing with cryptos now, the dump doesn't matter. If you are saying, it's like, if something goes like 4 times in 3 days, do you know there's going to be a dump, right? But again, and of course, I stole the word off you, right? Yesterday in the session, I asked them what you asked us last week, like, why aren't you in? So now for the dump, I'm saying that if it goes 3-4 times within 2 days, or 6, or double within a day, why did you take profit? If you didn't take profit, you should be ready for the dump anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all. So I'm using Grandpa Geoff now. Look, because Geoff, you were on that thing in that mining town. You saw this insanity, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Guys now don't see it. We don't see it, or they're finding it hard to believe it. So
well, and that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, if you're conditioned to one mindset,
correct,
and you're conditioned to that, and you think, well, no, I can't because it's gone, it's already gone, it's blown, I can't get in now. I've got to wait for a big dump or a retracement or whatever. And that's the way we're programmed. It takes a lot to get outside of the comfort zone. But I think one of the businesses on the weekend said, if you're trading with inside your comfort zone all the time, and it's not for new traders, right? This is for people who have been around a little bit. If you're forever trading inside your comfort zone, you're probably not doing the right thing by yourself. Get out of that, certainly stick to what works, but always be open to the idea that there's another way. And when you start seeing skyrockets go off, you probably need to jump them. It's not my thing, and it's really, really hard for me to do that, I've got to say. But there are certain times where you see, oh no, this is just not coming back. It's not going to happen. So you got to jump in, and that's where we're at, mate. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where we're at. So here's the thing. Like now, you can use your Fibonacci's or whatever, but here's the same concept. Okay, the thing will come back, but it's going to be out of the charts. But you still have that concept of a higher low. But because it's price discovery, because it's something new, right? You really don't know where it is. So you gotta be comfortable buying in that higher low, and that thing just goes nowhere within that range. And that could be 10 times. And I know it's weird, but that's it. Because nobody knows where these things will go now. And
if it tips, and we're really saying when it tips, when it takes out 20.
Yeah, we'll see afterwards. And the rest, you guys will get the answer on Saturday during the wallet class. Yes, as Paul said on Sunday, it will be interesting what happens when it breaks 20, because here's the warning, guys. Come on Saturday, because you got to listen to this. I will show you what will happen, because once it goes past 20, it ain't coming back. Sayonara, goodbye. We've left the train station, whatever. You can still catch it. I'm just saying it's hard to get in your mind. You understand what I mean?
It is very hard,
yes,
very difficult.
Guys that are in the class now, they know what to do at 20. You guys will still be saying, no, it's not going to 20. No, it's coming back. You guys are going to get at 40. And then Fat will gladly sell you at 40, but he may not want to sell it too. So you won't understand that. Yeah, that's the problem.
That's not a problem. That's an opportunity, right?
Yeah, that is an opportunity. But again, it is so tough because, we are in a box now, and suddenly we have to be outside the box in order to catch all this. But again, I bring you back to 2016. At this time in 2016, Bitcoin was only 700. You think it's low? No, it was high at that time. Because remember, Bitcoin was worth like nothing in 2011, and it went to 20,000 by the end of 2017. That's only a 24 times move. If it goes to 318,000, like Citibank says, that's only a 20 times move. So,
do you think that 12, where are we? 20, 20.
Yeah.
Do you think when it gets to 318,000, and I'm a skeptic on this, I've got to say.
Yeah. Right.
But if and when it does,
Mhm.
will you and I be sitting here saying it's going to 750,000? Or
Yeah.
will we be saying
And
this is extremely overvalued, and
yes.
what do we do
Yes.
next?
And I think that's the major error, because whatever goes up must come down. Now, a lot of people say that it's going to 1 million, right? Okay, here's the deal, guys. If it goes to 1 million, it's basically the end of the world, you know. To me, if it goes to 1 million, a car is going to cost 500,000. That's it. I don't know.
Isn't that the case in Singapore anyway?
And in Malaysia too. And in Malaysia too.
Is it? I don't know what. A car is really expensive in Malaysia.
Yeah, only Singaporeans would buy Bitcoin at that time. Only Malaysians and Singaporeans would buy.
That's it. Exactly. Exactly.
We'll buy Bitcoin.
I,
We're used to all these things. Okay, yeah, you're right. Bad example. Bad example. So we'll be happy.
never mind. I always pull you up on that. It's all good. Listen, I'm going to have a very, very quick whip around the grounds. Then we'll change over to the US session, and we'll get into the Bitcoin story or Ethereum story or whatever's going on in a very, very brief period of time. I've got a watch list, and I want to share that with you guys because it has got nothing to do with what's happening today. It's to do with what may happen in the next few days. And if I can employ the slingshot too, we'll be doing our KO apps. The first of them is CAD Yen. CAD Yen I've been in for, well, I'm having some issues with my internet here. I hope you're still okay, everybody.
Oops, where's Jeff?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Shukri?
I can hear you.
And see my screen?
No, I can't see your screen. Your sharing is lost again.
But now?
No, can't still see your screen. You've started. Yes, now we can see. Okay, CAD JPY,
Okay.
CAD Yen. CAD.
Yep. Sorry, guys. There's something really weird going on in my internet connection. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I want to share this with you. CAD Yen, I'm a long-term bull based on this big tweezer bottom sitting here, higher highs, higher lows, whoops, equal high, equal low, equal high. So I'm actually at the moment, I get down again and I earn back into a bull. So I'm basically range trading this. At the moment, it's not working out too well, but what I advise you, that's the weekly chart I'm looking at. What I would advise, if there is a significant lower high that looks pretty much like that candle there, this is the daily chart I'm looking at. If that were to close as it is now, that candle, I'll look to trade that in the morning. Now I'm already in this trade, but I still trade that again if I was looking tomorrow morning in that candle. So stop loss. I've been a bit conservative with first entry, but I'd be a little bit more aggressive with this, and I would put my stop loss above the candle, maybe 10 pips above the candle, and my entry would be at the bottom of it. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow morning on CAD Yen. That was the first of my watch list for the week. The second was Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie was a bit of a question mark for me. And the question mark was all around, had we been to the bottom of the range, which of course is all encompassing since May-ish, but even beyond that, before, and this of course is COVID-19, even before COVID-19, we were in range for the longest time anyway. So I think to my mind, essentially we've been in here since 2019. So a whole year of in this range outside of COVID-19. So we're now back at the bottom of that. And the question mark was always going to be, were we at the bottom or did we have a little bit left to travel? And I think from what I'm seeing, the second part of that, a little bit left to travel, is the way that we are. We're looking at right now a candle on the daily chart that's forming that I absolutely like. And if this was tomorrow morning, then again, I would put an entry above that candle. And I'd have to put my stop losses. Sorry, this is very, very hard to. This method over here, which of course we all know about. So I'll be looking to trade that bar tomorrow long. So entry there, probably have to put my stops below 161. So 160.95, something like that would be where I'd put my stop loss. But I think this has got an excellent chance to go back to the top of the range. And if that's the case, 3 days, 2 more. And I know we're running over time. Sorry about that, guys. US dollar CAD, an entry long, basically trading this bar, but I've got my entry above that bar there. You can see that we're in a very, very tight and weird range, if you like. High test bars, low test bars, all over the top across the pivots. But I do like the fact that we have come back into the range. We've come off resistance. We've got a higher low form there. It's now changed. What I would likely do tomorrow is move my entry from where it is now, which is up here, to just above that yellow line, which of course is, why is it yellow? It's only white. That'd be the weekly pivot, right? So I'll put my entry above the week, my below there. And that will be my trade on dollar CAD in the morning. Final one, Aussie yen. Aussie yen, I was looking to trade this short and pretty much trading this structure here. It's thrown me a little bit of a curveball. I'm looking to trade maybe a lower high. I haven't got that, but now I'm looking probably to trade a false break of this trade line. So price gets back up to the top, comes back underneath the trade line, retests it, then I'll be looking to trade that short. So they're the first 4 on my watch list for the week. I did add one this morning. It was pound yen. I'm looking for a long on pound yen, and I may be out of line. I was looking for a pullback to the daily pivot. It looks like that hasn't and isn't perhaps going to happen. Righto, that's it for currencies. That's my watch list, 5 of them. And nothing exciting happening towards that.
This is your most important tool. If you want to do the slingshot too, this is what you got to do. Okay, guys, I'm giving you this free tip. You have your camera here. Whenever Geoff writes something there, take a picture. That's all I do. Okay, just ask him. That's all I do in class. I'm like the most serious person here. Okay.
He's laughing all the way. I love it. All right, guys. We will be back very, very shortly for those of you who subscribe to the US session. And of course, it is To the Moon Nights, and we'll go and talk to Shilpi very, very shortly about tapping in the crypto world. And I've got a few more tricks up my sleeve as to where we're going with currencies as well. Thank you for joining us. Ash will be back with you tomorrow with an education session, and he'll be then. Session got you in a minute.